as though my wand has teleported me to a new location and made everything black and white. Which seems perfect for the occasion, because today is a new installment of Sulli-Ween. Well, since I'm in black and white, it only seems fair to look at a movie that's also in black and white, but also directed by Tim Burton. Of course, he's done a few remakes, whether you love him or hate him, but once in a while he'd do a film that usually references the Frankenstein films and book. And this one is a remake, has references to Frankenstein, and is based on an original idea from Burton. And this one happens to be Frankenweenie. A boy named Victor Frankenstein has a dog named Sparky, who's likely his best friend. But during a baseball game, Sparky chases after a ball that Victor pitched, causing Sparky to be hit by a car and die. Thus, Victor becomes upset at the loss of his pet, until his science teacher, Mr. Rice-Krusky, gave him the idea to bring Sparky back to life through electricity, which eventually he does. But after Sparky's been revived, he inadvertently causes panic throughout the neighborhood, which gets the attention of the other kids, who use Victor's technique to dead animals as a science fair project. All while Victor's neighbor and mayor of New Holland, Mr. Burgermeister, is getting prepared for an event called Dutch Day. The movie is a stop-motion animated remake of Burton's live-action short film from 1984. And I'll be doing some comparisons to both films rather than do a compare and contrast since Burton directed both. Of course, both of them are in black and white, which is one of the many homages to the classic monster movies, and both for somewhat the same story, as well as show scenes that are almost shot for shot. But the differences between them are pretty major. The original short, though kept simple, have some moments and jokes that don't seem that funny, and, to put it lightly, scary. And being that it's live action, it didn't have a lot to it, and it's pretty rushed. And even certain things didn't add up. Like this woman said that Sparky tried to eat her dog, and a neighbor's daughter said that she was attacked. Well, I wouldn't call being scared as being attacked, and Sparky never touched this woman's dog. All this dog ever did was bark at Sparky. Okay, they may be rumors, but I'm still not sure. Also, the black poodle comes in with a Bride of Frankenstein hairdo. Like, where did that come from? Did the owner give it that? In the remake, it added scenes that made it better because, being it's animated, it went a lot farther than the original. With scary-looking shadows, electricity gives the poodle the hairdo, and going farther with its scares. But being that it's longer, it also happens to add in more homages to movie monsters that just turns it into something bizarre. And they're all over the place. Godzilla, the Mummy, Dracula, Frankenstein in many places. There seems to be too much of them, and it becomes a bit forced and unfocused. They all seem to be filler and don't add anything outside of being homages, when clearly the movie should be a straight-up take on Frankenstein than just cramming all this in. But it's mostly a nitpick. A big nitpick, but still. Yet, the characters are certainly good, mostly in their designs, which looks like they portray famous horror movie actors such as Vincent Price and Boris Karloff. Even more so because they are Burton-like designs. And the supporting characters are more defined and helpful to this film than the original. I mean, I don't know who these characters are. They don't add very much. But at least the acting from them and the main leads are decent. More so than in the remake, which is pretty awkward and weird at times. I mean, come on, did you have to have Vincent scream no in that way, let alone twice in almost the same shot? However, the actors voicing the characters did a nice job. Martin Short voices Mr. Frankenstein, Mr. Burgermeister, and Nasser. Catherine O'Hare voices Mrs. Frankenstein, Weird Girl, and Gym Teacher. Martin Landau voices Mr. Rice-Krusky. Charlie Tahan voices Victor Frankenstein. Atticus Shaffer voices Edgar E. Gore. Winona Ryder voices Elsa Van Helsing. Robert Capron voices Bob. James Haluki-Layo voices Tashika. And Conchella Ferrell voices Bob's mom. As a whole, this movie is well done. The characters are enjoyable, the story is nice, and the animation is really good. Director Tim Burton has done a wondrous job at remaking his own short film to feature length, and in many respects is better than the original. Yet a few moments with the kid characters do become awkwardly handled due to their personality, and many of the movie monster homages tend to be either overkill or forced. But all of that is part of its charm. even one coming out of nowhere and adapted from a short film that's simple. Yet, as a Burton fan and someone who loves stop motion, this really isn't bad. And it pays off for what it is. So today, this movie will be given a rating of 3 stars. Now, will you turn this room back to color? That's perfect. So, thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, and tune in next week for more of Sulli-Ween. Well, here's another movie I wanted to review, even though it's not Halloween related, but what the heck, I gotta do something. So, here it is. Here's a movie that I wasn't keen on seeing, but since it's from the people that did the Lego movie, I felt like giving it a chance. And it's actually quite enjoyable. It's the newest Warner Brothers animated film, Storks. The story is about a stork named Junior, who works with other storks for cornerstore.com, delivering packages rather than babies. And his boss Hunter will have him promoted as the next boss until he fires Tulip, the only human girl never delivered as a baby and is 18 years old. But Junior sends Tulip to another area, where she activates the baby-making machine after inserting a letter into it, and produces a baby girl. Thus, Junior and Tulip have to deliver the baby to its destination, while avoiding various obstacles such as a pack of wolves and a crazed old stork, as well as taking care of the baby. And in the meantime, a young boy named Nate Gardner, who sent the letter, is preparing for the baby's arrival, despite that his parents are very busy homeworkers who rarely have time with their son. Directors Nicholas Stoller and Doug Sweetland had done a pretty good job at taking the idea of storks delivering babies to an interesting and fun level, with great characters, good story, and fun animation. There are lots of funny moments like the wolves combined to make different transportations and Tulip interacting with herself, as well as plenty of cute moments with the babies involved. Though while the villain's motivation could have been handled and explained more, and there could have been a surprise twist at the end, and some of the jokes are a bit awkward, they don't matter much since the whole film is funny and fun for its animation and characters. And altogether, it's a joyful and fun experience. So today I'm giving this movie a rating of 3 stars. And that's about it. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, and tune in next week for more of Sulli-Ween. But being that it's longer, it also happens to add in more Gosh darn it! But being that it's longer, it also happens to add in more homages to movie monsters that just makes it... Gosh darn it!